Okay, I'm just double checking to make sure everything is functional as it should. Okay, I'm seeing excellent, but that's why I don't want to double check and make sure that it is good. Because I know it's supposed to be starting right now. But if you could see me and if you could hear me, I hope everything is fantastic. Okay. I tell you, it's been something. Okay, that's what there we go. Okay, all right. Yep. Okay, I'm seeing it. So it is to be. All right. Hey guys, Nyisha here. Just an average girl. And we are back once again for another Diamond Art stream. It's been a minute. A lot of stuff, of course, has been going on. I live in Florida, so my area, the storm happened to blow by it. We weren't in its direction, thankfully, but we happened to be getting just the wind bands and all that stuff. And it wasn't towards the end of it did we get some rain. So it was a toss back and forth, but thankfully some people that I know, they're okay. It is what it is. I don't mind it because I mean I've gone through all kinds of storms my whole life. Hurricane Andrew was the one that I remember the most because growing up was because that one had a lot more water than most of the storms that we went to or gone through. And so I remember when we were kids, we actually we were not thinking much about it because actually it was something from Winnie the Pooh where they also had some rain and some flooding. And so there was a message from Piglet that he put in a bottle. So we figured we'd do the same thing too. And, we wrote the similar script and we just signed it off, from the Haynes family and whatnot. But, we signed it off and we just whisked it away to see how far it would go. Thankfully, it didn't go too far to make anyone think that we were in peril, because when the flooding, when it was done and over with, and we were going to school one day, we actually found it in the woods just around the corner of our house, so we were good. So because at the same time when we sent it off, we thought it was kind of cool to see it go, but then we didn't think the repercussions of, oh my goodness, would someone think that we are in peril and all that stuff, because in this day and age you don't want to cry wolf. You don't want to cause any harm, especially if the police are trying their best to go out there and make sure that people are safe. And that's why they always tell us that, please do not go out during the storm and whatnot, because you do have storm chasers. You have the professional ones that know what they're doing, and then you have, the ones that just want to go out there and, see it to say that I was out there during the storm, which isn't really safe or wise. And so it upsets them because, once again, the cops now have to pay attention to you and make sure that you don't get yourself, hurt, because, we're human. We're going to end up doing things that, will upset and anger people for our entertainment. But, in the back of our mind, we're like, well, we know that they're going to protect us, so it's okay for us to go out and do these dangerous things. When me, and again, this is just me personally, and whatnot. Stuff like this happens, and sometimes lives are lost because of it. Sometimes, you survive these things, you live to tell the tale, but just choose wisely. Because I found out that at least because now the storm has gone and over, it has, and I don't know if it came from our end, but lives have been lost. I believe a total of 34. And again, I don't know if it was coming from our end or if it was, people from other states. But it was a category 4 over by our area, about 3 or 4-ish. And it was slowly building up before it released itself into they call it the bend of Florida, or the armpit, however you want to call it. And so it's unfortunate that that those people lost their lives. It was the same thing that happened with Ian, but Charlie was the one that came in 2004, and this was when I came out of the military, and it was a summer. It was during the summer when that happened, and so the storm looked like it was going to pass us by, and then all of a sudden it was turning around and coming back to us, and we had to brace ourselves. And that was when we had a broken window. Our shed was ripped apart and blown someplace else. Thankfully, some of the remnants of the stuff that was in the shed survived. They were just damaged and wet. Unfortunately, fortunately, but unfortunately, my transformers were in there because, again, I was coming out of the military. That's where my folks stored my majority of my stuff. So the boxes that I had them contained in were damaged. So I couldn't, keep them in their boxes anymore like I did. And so, but I may have lost maybe some of their weapons, but the transformers were intact still, surprisingly, and they were still there. So that I found amazing. But that was the beginning of the hottest summer that I've ever experienced, because I think we did not have any power for I think almost a month, because that's how devastating it was. And that was the first time that I am aware of that Port Charlotte was put on the board in the news of being caught in the storm. And it's one of those we'll never forget type of things, because the pictures that I've seen around the area compared to our house was a lot worse. And again, like I said, that was the first time that a storm actually hit our home. And then comes Ian, which is, as of today, has been our 2-year anniversary since it came to Port Charlotte. It, I believe, followed the same path as Charlie, only it was bigger and it was stronger. And it covered a good part of our area. And once again, it came back, and and it felt like forever. I did a video about it on my channel of my experience, because it was the first time that a piece of the roof, because I was staying over by my folks, and it was the first time that a piece of the roof, actually, came out and caused damage in the kitchen, and the water was just everywhere. So that was that. But I've never in all my years ever experienced something like that. And the way the wind was howling that night, it was something that I've never heard before. And Every now and then, I'm not gonna lie, I get a little PTSD because even with this storm, they said that, oh, it's a category 3 or 4, but don't worry, it's not coming to us. I wasn't the only one. People were asking the news crew, are you sure that it's not going to turn around? Because that's what you said the last time, where you said it wasn't going to happen, and then lo and behold, it turned around. So they reassured us that it wasn't, and they were actually on top of it. So, so thankfully, yes, nothing bad came of it, just a lot of wind in my area. Now, certain parts of Florida, they did have it worse. There is a city not too far from me called Punta Gorda, and the downside is Punta Gorda is a nice little area to see sights and to walk. In fact, back in the day, I used to use it to go Pokemon hunting, and so the only downside is that area floods big time. And I just recently saw videos of people posting videos of how high the water was in Punta Gorda, and I've never seen it that high before. So I'm wondering to myself if there is a solution to fixing that problem, because it's stuff like that you want to find a way to have the water flow someplace else. But hopefully they will fix that. And speaking of fix, the FPL, which is our electric company, has now made it to where our stuff is underground, our electricity is underground. And so that was a big test, because we weren't too sure whether it was going to work or not. And it actually did. We had power, so we don't really have to worry. I mean, yes, we have supplies just in case we didn't, but we made it through all right. And, I'm very grateful. I thank God for it. And it is also unfortunate for those who have lost their lives and lost loved ones, because the stories, especially with Ian, because they tell you these things, especially when they tell you to evacuate. Some people have chosen to, stay where they are, even though they're told that, you have to leave. And hey, it's your choice. And just know that that police and them can only go so far, and they try their darndest to help as many people as possible. Like I saw something on YouTube where a newscast person from Fox was rescuing a person who was in her car, and the water was rising. Hi, good afternoon, Starmiss. I hope you had a wonderful week. Howdy, howdy. But yeah, so the news anchor, he called 911, and he was, trying to do the report. And I'm also glad that, he stopped what he was doing, because yes, he was also endangering himself, but he just couldn't bear to just stand there and watch as the water was rising, and the woman was freaking out in the car, because I'm sure she couldn't swim. And it's one of those things that is scary when it comes to that stuff. But no, and the water came up to his chest, I believe, when he was rescuing the woman. So thankfully, he's a hero. He honestly is. Okay, so that's it for that area. But no, so right now it's just been a combination of rain. It's been raining all day today, back and forth, just bouts and spouts of rain. Diaz and David, we're 12. Yep. That was during this hurricane. A news anchor, he was reporting. I don't know if he was reporting from Florida or if no, it was from Georgia because I remember that they were talking about Atlanta, and yeah, he was hearing a woman screaming for help, and he called 911, and he just kept saying, don't worry, hang tight, help is on the way. But I believe the water was rising, and she was panicking, and he just he he couldn't just stand there and do nothing, so he was willing to risk his life to save her, because it could have went south. He could have been dragged down by her and whatnot, or the water could have taken both of them and whatnot, but thank God that it didn't. So he's a hero. I know. And, it goes to show you that, especially with what's going on right now, we are human. I, I know there's a lot of people with, racism and prejudice and, all kinds of stuff, but we all still shed the same color of blood. And, we all don't want bad things to happen, but we also hear other people's bad experience with people that they encounter, and sometimes they assume that everybody is like that one person that they encountered, when it's not like that at all. 100%. I definitely agree with you that I'm so glad that there are nice people out there, because I don't think that they are far and few. It's just that I don't think they're recognized as much as those who are negative. And because let's face it, when it comes to drama, we eat it up, and we rather see, bad things happen and, talk and gossip about it more than, good deeds. And again, that's just me, and from my observation. Because, yes, the news will report, people saving somebody and all that stuff. But then we go straight to, something dramatic happening. And then everybody's attention, falls on that a lot faster because, again, it's something to talk about versus the good deed that that person did. Exactly. Yep. Feel good stories don't get clicks and views. And it kind of makes you wonder. That's a good topic. I wonder why stuff like that doesn't get noticed. Is it because it's boring or something like that? And, we as humans thrive for drama. So I'm throwing that question out to you, Starmus. Why do you feel that feel good stories that are positive and uplifting, don't get as much attention as the negative ones do? Ooh. Okay, I think it's something to do with our brain functions. We're very fine tuned to detect danger and negativity as a survival instinct. Okay, fair and point. Now, is it because, so when it comes to headlines about bad things, we tend to gravitate towards that because of that survival instinct. Okay, so with that said, is that based off of experience? Because let's face it, when you are a child, you don't know danger until your parents introduce that. Because I don't know if I think there may have been some kind of test to where you have the doting parent that allows their child to get into things, or if they fall and they hurt themselves, they don't react and act like it's the end of the world. Instead, they encourage them to get back up, brush it off, and continue forward, versus that parent that is like, oh my goodness, and then the child starts crying. Okay, so then we start looking for the danger. That's the theory I remember hearing. Okay, we start looking for that. Okay. Interesting. For me, yeah, I still it still goes back to what I was saying earlier, to where it goes back to our upbringing. Um we all have different types of upbringing. Some are good, some are bad, because again, the parent is the one that introduces you what is good and what is bad. Because if you do something that's not good, they tell you that it's not good. Sometimes they tell you why it's not good. Yep. So yes, that plays a big part of it. I think that is conditioning. Yep. And then as biological beings, there will always be survival instincts to some degree. Yes, absolutely. Because unfortunately, there are negative parenting to where the child is introduced to negative things that harms them, especially if the parent or a friend of that parent is a grooming type of person that unfortunately harms their child in any way. And yes, the instinct within to somehow survive or cope with that survival starts to develop at a young age. And so that hiding factor, because unfortunately you have parents that tell you, or that will tell that child that this is our little secret. And the child would then find coping mechanisms to self-harm. And it's that thing where, yes, survival. And it's unfortunate that kids like that have to see that at such a young age, or at any age for that matter. And it's stuff like that needs to be addressed more, because I think we would have less violence in schools, less bullies in school, if parents were actually involved. And not that I'm saying that they're not doing their best, because life happens, life gets in the way. There are some people who don't know how to be a parent because their parent never taught them how to be, never taught them. So it could be a vicious cycle. It can. And there's got to be a way to make it more aware. So if the parent is struggling, there has to be some kind of aid, a system to help the parents realize that, hey, you need to pay attention to your child more, because they might end up going down a road and a path that they might find hard to get out of. Because I don't know if you noticed these days, but for the past couple of shootings, parents are now getting in trouble for the child that caused the shooting. And I know the answer to my opinion on this, but now I'm asking you this question: do you feel that the parent should be going to jail for the child's response, for what the child has done at the school, for the shooting of a school? I think intuition plays a big part in more nuanced situations like that, or when there are tornado conditions but no tornadoes. Okay. Yep. That. Oh no, definitely that. That's another survival tactic. There we go. I agree. No, I agree 100%, because And in anything, that's where it all starts. It all starts in the household. Because I know there are movies out there that show, demon possessed children and all that stuff, but no child is born evil. Misled, sure, due to bad situations that happened in the household, but and I could be wrong too, because there could be a situation where nothing was ever done to that child, and yet somehow they came out bad. But to me, whenever there's an action, there has to be a reaction. I've never, maybe because I never come across it or seen it, but I've never come across a situation where a child is just literally born, evil, without something or someone triggering them to follow that path. Because we are born pure and innocent until something bad and evil is introduced. Part of parenting is preventing your child from being a criminal. 100%, yes. But then what if that parent doesn't feel that what they're doing is wrong? Because it goes back to the whole, I call it the hypocritical thing, where, for example, you start swearing and then the child starts swearing, but then you tell the child don't swear. So then you are now confusing the child and telling them, okay, I can't swear, but it's okay for you to swear. So you, being a hypocrite, are teaching that child to be that. Because again, children don't learn by listening. They learn by watching the adults. So they can ignore you. If they see you smoke and you tell them not to smoke, they're going to smoke behind your back. That's just my thought and theory. But either way, they see that you're doing it, they're going to do it too. Because even though you said it's not okay, obviously it must be okay because you're doing it. And then how can you tell them why? And then that makes that parent think, or sometimes they'll just say, just do it. And I guess my teachers never liked it because I always questioned. So whenever, they told us to do this, I would always ask why. And sometimes they couldn't give me an answer. Sometimes they could. All right. I think the lack of mental illness awareness and proper treatment is always a factor, but that also starts with being noticed by parents. You're absolutely right. Yes, I agree. Children are always watching more than they're listening. Yes. Because my brother sent me a link about a TV show that a lot of parents are not too happy about. And I've seen it. Every time I go on the stream and I'm flickering around, it has something to do with some babies and their weird faces, and they're smiling, and there's song and there's music. It's kind of like there was this one show that my nephews used to watch or browse through, and I think it was like K.O.A or something like that. And I think that was the rise of kids being ruthless, or kids being, ignoring their parents or causing bad habits. Yes, Coco Melon. Thank you. Yes, I hear a lot of people do not like Coco Melon, and I've only seen maybe a few minutes of it, and I can see why, because there was one that I watched that was teaching a child not to go to bed, not to brush their teeth. It was like some kind of no song, and it's like, you're not, and the parent was saying that the child was mimicking that because that's what they're watching. Again, it goes back to the watching. They're not listening. They're watching a cartoon child saying no to good habits until towards the end, but it's already too late because you done brainwashed the child into thinking that that's supposed to be cool. It's sad how, people can manipulate media to, that's supposed to educate kids to that. Cartoons like that when I was growing up wasn't like that. It's legitimately crap for kids, which is the most horrible messaging possible. Wow. Wonder what. Well, yeah, because they're using color psychology to attract their attention. I don't know if music has also anything to do with it because it's cheery, and then of course the kids are smiling, yet they're doing bad habits. But the fact is, it's grabbing the kids' attention because again, sometimes you do have parents that may not have time to take care of their kids, and they will pawn TV on them. I was one of them, but in my situation, my dad worked days because he is a retired state trooper, and my mom worked nights because she was a nurse. So every now and then we had babysitters, and the babysitter was elderly. Sometimes she would teach us how to play cards, and when we were kind of bored of that, then we ended up just watching television. But for me, I was watching Transformers, I was watching G.I. Joe, I was watching those cartoons. Were they teaching me anything? No, but they were just teaching me that, Optimus Prime is like the best robot dad ever. So, that was one thing. Yes, no, yeah. I would definitely do the same thing. My kids they'll be watching classic cartoons. Most of what I'm seeing comes out the past few years. It's just, yeah, it has. I stopped, I would have to say, for Disney, I stopped after Phineas and Ferb because I enjoyed Phineas and Ferb. It was a genius show for its time. And I loved how, what the premise of the story was about. Yes. No. Yeah. I've as I said to most people that I joke around with. Yes, I have inherited Optimus to be my father, my second father. So yes, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. So, and I don't know if it's because of that whole John Wayne like voice. I don't know, but Peter Cullen, he has, he always had that father figure, role, even though he was, portraying his brother from the military. So, but no, that guy is amazing. Hi, Vanilla Bean. How you doing, Bubby? Did I wake you up from your cat nap? I'm so sorry. Let's see. This is J, so let's cover J up. So that's... Yes, he is such a sweetheart. I totally agree. I got a chance to see him and Frank Welker, and that was definitely one of my hopes and dreams and goals on my bucket list. So the fact that I have achieved that, I'm happy. I still have a couple of people that I still have yet to see, and I hope that I could venture out there and catch them. Because unfortunately, they don't come down to. But then again, it's because they're not in. No one ever plans to invite them because they're from Canada. So because that was my first convention, I would have to say was in Miami. It was OtakuCon, and that's when I met the Canadian voice actors for Gundam Wing, and that's when I met Kirby Morrow because he was Moroku in Inuyasha. He was Vaughn from Escaflowne, and in earlier things he was Cole from Ninjago. So I had the pleasure of seeing the cast of Gundam Wing and the English dub cast of Gundam Wing, and that was cool. But nowadays they don't invite as much Canadian voice actors these days, unfortunately, because Funimation because they were also doing they were the first to do Dragon Ball Z. They were the first to dub them, And then that's when Funimation decided to take over American dubbing. So that pushed the Canadian the voice actors back into Canada. So they did their dubbed version of Dragon Ball Z, I think up until the Buu saga. I don't think they did GT, but they were able to finish. They were able to finish Dragon Ball Z with Buu, and that's as far as they went. Because I don't think they will do Super with Beerus, because I haven't checked to see if they've done that. But I don't think they will, because unfortunately Kirby Morrow passed. He, as they call it, unalived himself, and we'll never know what was going on in his mind. But and that's one of the scariest things, because I don't take that stuff lightly when people joke about doing something to harm themselves and whatnot, but then when you question it, they're like, oh, I'm just kidding, or I'm just playing around. You don't kid like that. You don't. It's in a way like their very being trying to call for help without calling for help. And it's unfortunate, because I do my best. Yeah. It was a harsh day, because Kirby Morrow was one of my favorites, and it was sad that he chose that path, because he helped others, but he just couldn't help himself. That's always really hard. Yep. I hate jokes about that too. Very few things I hate joking about, and that's one of them. Yes. Because, and I think that was one of the, I don't know if Robin Williams was like that too, where, he would mention things like that, and I'm sure his coworkers, his family, and he didn't want people to worry. And it's stuff like that I wish I can get into that person's head to see why they feel that, they can't be helped. Everybody can be helped. It's definitely up to you, the person, if you want to be helped. Because learning over this, learnings from last year, not everybody wants your help. I learned that the hard way, that not everybody wants your help. And I understand that now. I wish I understood that sooner, because I'm a helping person. I want to help you as best as I can. Sometimes I do get emotionally involved, and when I shouldn't, because again, that's the person's life, that's the person's choice. And, I just don't want to see anything bad happen to them. But again, I can't stop them from making that choice. Number 8. See, that's beautiful. I, deep down in my heart, know that no one is a lost cause. I know that. I know that for a fact. But you also have to, respect their wishes and whatnot. So yes, I agree that no one is a lost cause. I never want to, make any of my friends a lost cause. But again, you can't force your opinions. You can't force, your choice and decisions on them either. They are free to make their choices, whether it hurts them mentally or physically. Because I've come across that problem where I have warned a friend of mine. We've known each other since kindergarten, and it wasn't easy, and I learned about some stuff, but I'm glad that they're okay and that they are in better places with better people. And so, it's bittersweet, but at the same time, like I said, I guess I've done too much of that I need a break for myself mentally, because it's a lot of negative toxicity, and you don't want too much of that in yourself, because then it can hurt. It can hurt you physically, and it can hurt you, mentally, allowing, negative, toxic situations to get in the way. Sometimes the only thing you could do is pray for someone when they reject everything else. You are absolutely right. And that's what, I have chosen to do, so, and I mean, I have been, I really have, because, I care for them very much. And, I care for their well-being. But, I also realize that I have a path and I have a life of my own too to follow and seek. And I can't, I can't follow everybody and whatnot. Because personally, if I see that it's going down a path that isn't healthy, I don't want to be a part of it, because I don't want to see this person constantly getting hurt, because that's all I kept seeing. And it hurt to see them cry. It hurt to see them wondering why, things aren't going their way, when I know why it's not going their way. But they weren't listening, because sometimes people have to learn the hard way. It happened to my brother. It happened to, numerous people in my life. And sometimes there are people that have to learn the hard way. It doesn't mean that I've, abandoned them, but, I guess it's just time. I needed time for myself to reflect on, because my brother actually asked me an interesting question. And, and I'll pass this question on to you, Star Miss, on what it means to be a friend, because everybody has a definition of what they believe friendship is. When I first started, and it could be wrong, it could be right, but, I felt the need to always be there for everybody, regardless of the situation. Because that if they are hurting, I'll hurt with you. If they need help, I'm there. And whatnot. Now, over the years, sometimes there are people that abuse that, and they know that you will always be there. And sometimes you have to be like, you have to put healthy boundaries when it becomes a little too much. Because, again, being a friend is being there when you could be there. Sometimes you can't always be there. And I know it might be hard for some people to like that, because I've had people that if I can't make it to an event or something like that, it would be upsetting, and I hate to see them, upset. But, we all have lives. We all have, we all have things to, that come our way. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. There's always time to reschedule. There's always time to, make things the best that you can. But again, that's just me. I could be wrong, because everybody has a different experience. Okay. Oh, no, thank God for that, because you're right. You're right. When you sense those things that could actually harm you, and I'm glad that you listen to those instincts, because that stuff does not lead you astray. It never does. And I'm always grateful to listen to that. Uh-oh. Hold on just a second. That did not sound good. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was in the middle of printing something, 3D printing something that I hope I can have finished by next month, because I want to do something that I did last year that I thought was pretty cool. So I want to do it again this year. And even though, yeah, the printing, I heard a loud noise, and turns out that the needle pushed something that was printed off of the plate, and it just started printing just a string because it got unhinged. So I have to start all over again. Thankfully, it wasn't in the middle. It was just now starting to print. So I haven't really lost anything. And I'm trying another method, so if that method doesn't work, then it should, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it'll work. But yes, sometimes part of being a good friend is letting go of someone when you can no longer help them because of their choices. Yep, you are actually right, and that's what I had to do. I've done that a couple of times in my lifetime, and I hate doing it. I really do, because those people were like family to me, and but at the same time it hurt to see the choices that they were making. And I know sometimes, I mean, and I'm no saint, because a similar situation happened where, I was seeing this guy, and I thought he was amazing, but other people, questioned and whatnot. And, I figured, well, the way he was treating me, he wasn't treating me like how he was treating the others. But, because I felt special, I felt different, but at the same time, I noticed the red flags. I was starting to notice the red flags, but because I was infatuated by how close we were in the things that we had in common, it was hard. Yes. I would love that. If we ever did something like that, and whatnot, or if you ever do a stream, I will definitely, jump in on that. Please, let me know, because I do want to hear from your perspective, because, stuff like this is good to talk about. It's very hard to find friends to, have deep conversations, especially when it comes to talking about self and feelings, self-awareness, because we need that in our lives to, to kind of question ourselves if what we're doing is okay. Because I know this world, we are raised to be people pleasers. And I don't think that that is a good thing, depending on what it is. And so we need to break out of that, discover ourselves, who we are, and who we need to be before we can, be with somebody else. Because a lot of negative people, because of the bad experience that they have encountered with people that wronged them, what was the thing that my mom always says? Hurt people hurt people. Ooh, yes. Yep, Discord call, collab video. Hey, by all means, I'm all for it. That would be awesome. Oh, I just finished my Dinobots 1986 collection. So once again, another bucket list has been completed. And because I've always wanted to collect the Dinobots, I have two of the second gen, because of course I don't think there was a swoop for the second gen. Oh, excuse me. And I only had Grimlock, and I only had Grimlock and Snarl. Grimlock for the second gen Transformers was blue, Snarl was red. But and it was based off of the G1 model from 1984. And I always wanted to collect them as a kid, but now that when Hasbro came out with the 1986, I am thrilled and I am happy. Yes, no, I totally agree. Will you do you have the combined forms? Because I know I can't remember what he transforms into, but not Predaking, but yeah, they've came out with one where you can combine the Dinobots, which should have happened in the show personally, because I think that would have been so cool. Not that they can't; they still can if they were to ever, do it again. But yeah, that's my next investment. Is I want to start collecting the combiners, including the Dinobots, and I'm doing my research on which one I want, because there are a lot of good ones out there, but I want to get the really good ones. But yes, loved people love people, and hurt people hurt people. So no, I totally agree with you on that. And I've always been the kind of person that, loves to encourage people. And, I want the best for them. I want to do what I can to boost their morale up and let them know that they are capable of anything and everything if you put your mind to it. But when we see things, we start thinking, no, that can't be us, or no, we can't afford it. And to me, that's just negative thinking. You can afford it, but the question is, what are you doing in order to afford it? Because I've had people that questioned, how in the world did I get, could I afford, certain things, like the one video where I did the self-transforming Optimus. I'm going to tell you now, I didn't buy it all at once. It wasn't a gift. I actually did payments. Same thing with the 3-foot Optimus Prime. All of that was done in payments. I can't afford, to pay that thing outright by itself. Are you kidding me? But when you do it in increments, you don't think about that stuff. And over time, bam, you got yourself a 3-foot Optimus Prime. But I had to make sure that I could financially keep up with those payments. So if that's something, and it's the same thing like when I want to go to conventions. When Stan Lee was alive, I told myself, I am going to go to that convention. So that means I have to sacrifice buying certain things that I always wanted to buy in order for me to get a hotel, get the autograph, get the picture taken twice, mind you. And lo and behold, I have a picture of him. I have his autograph. And, the fact that, I achieved that made me believe that you are capable of anything that you want. So, one, in a positive way. But you have to have that mindset. If you don't have that mindset, then, and you start doubting yourself, then of course, all you're going to see is negative stuff. And don't get me wrong, negative stuff will always, browse its ugly head, making you think that you can't do it. Oh. Wait. A 3,000 YOLO Park Rise of the Beast? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, damn. I didn't know it was that much. Wow. $3,000. Okay. Well, have you ever... Now, again, I don't, I don't plan on putting people in any kind of financial jeopardy or anything like that. So, no, you're absolutely right. For something that's $3,000, that one, you definitely have to sit down and, plan your bills accordingly. Because, again, even for something that's $3,000, I believe you could actually still do it. You're right. You're absolutely right. That, yeah, I didn't know it was 3,000. I saw it at that. Wait, so you were there? You were there at the TF Con? Because I was there too. And I saw that booth that YOLO Park had. But I didn't know that thing cost $3,000. I wasn't paying attention to the price. I was just marveling at the beauty. What a small world. See, there you go again. You just called it. You said never. I am doing my very darndest not to, call things as though they were. And I know it's kind of hard to believe that, but you'd be surprised at allowing stuff like that in your vocabulary. And you'd be surprised at the change. You said might. Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The fact that you said might. Fair enough. Because again, you never know. Because not gonna lie, I was thinking about doing when I achieve like membership and stuff through YouTube, I was actually thinking about doing giveaways for certain things, certain items that I like, items nerd related, possibly Transformer related. And, as my way of saying, thank you to the fans and whatnot. So, of course I'll have to talk to these companies and, find out how, gifts and gift cards and all that stuff work. But I think, I'm no Mr. Beast, I will tell you that, and I think he's in hot water right now. Not because of the good deeds that he's done, but what got him into it, I think, or something like that. I heard there's a lot of controversy going on right now with his life, and I hope that it is not true. And I hope that he continues to do the good and awesome thing that he's been doing for people. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Because unfortunately, there are some people in this world that don't like to see other people succeed because out of jealousy, which, is unfortunate, because I still go back to the thing with, you can achieve that too. It's just that some people, when you tell them what you did, how you did it, people don't want to work. People don't think that they can, achieve that, and they would faster have, I don't know, but there was a song way back in one of the classic Goofy cartoons, and one of his songs, when he would always sing, was "The World Owes Me a Living." And I never really thought of that as a kid. I just, thought it was silly for him to sing a song like that. But when you think about that, I think some people have that mindset that, because of the terrible situation in my life, the way things are not going my way, some people have that mindset where the world owes me a better lifestyle. The world owes you nothing. And that, again, that's just my perspective. The world owes you nothing. In the end, you are as I've always told people, when I used to work at the hospital, I trained a lot of secretaries in hopes of, having someone to help me and stuff. I will tell you this now. I loved what I did at that hospital. And the thing is, what people didn't understand was, people thought that I was, you could call it brown nosing, you can do whatever you want to call it, because I was going above and beyond, helping doctors out, helping other nurses out, helping other floors out. And that wasn't the case. I love to help people. But there are people in this world that don't understand that and think that you are being conniving and undermining, because, again, either they've never seen anything like that, or a situation occurred that made them feel who knows what, or just plain jealousy. And that wasn't the thing. When if you love what you do, it's never work. And that's what it was for me, because I ran the third floor, which was at a very hectic med surg floor. I ran it and I controlled it when I could control it. And it flowed smooth. It flowed smoothly, and I wasn't there for the accolades. I appreciated it, but that wasn't why I did it. I did it because people that helped me, which I gave credit to, and stuff, to make that floor awesome. Unfortunately, like I said, you have people that are jealous, or people that feel that you need to be turned down a peg, and whatnot. But anyway, what happened was, my director was had me train new secretaries, and she wanted, and this is exactly what those secretaries told me. They said that they were supposed to be literally like me. And what I told them, which may sound selfish, I said that you will never be me because you aren't me. I want you to be the best you that you can be. I want you to be better than me. Don't be me. Be you, but be better than me. But they took it as me saying that, well, you can never be me because I'm better than you. Some people could take it that way, when that's not what I was trying to portray. I wanted them to, achieve their goals, achieve what it is to be a secretary, if you really love this job, go above and beyond what I am doing. But I guess because I, literally took it upon myself to, almost do everything for the hospital, not a lot of people like that. And so not a lot of secretaries stuck around because it was just too much work. People even these days think compassion is taken rather than, yep, compassion is taken rather than given. Nope, you are absolutely right. Oh, no, let me, I'm reading back. Oh yeah. So you were there at the panel. Yeah, those were my friends. Diecast Norbs. He introduced me to Patriot Prime. He introduced me to a lot of the Lazy Eye guy, I believe is his name. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I pronounced the channel and stuff. Treebot. I met him and his mom. Very nice people and whatnot. So and Rodimus Primal. We the three of us, or sometimes we did collabs way back when. And again, if you haven't subscribed to those people, feel free. Because again, they do, a lot for the transforming community. I was very proud of them during the panel. And, they did a great job. I could see how nervous they were, but how much fun they had and whatnot. And Bert, the stormtrooper too, he was hilarious. But no, I loved, the energy that they gave. And they did a fantastic job. And I hope that they continue to do more group panels and more panels like that in conventions. Because, they have potential. And it's stuff like that I always encourage and, root for. Because anybody can do it, but it takes work. If you want to take a shortcut, don't expect to have great results. All right, I'm going to quickly check to make sure that it should be printing. Let me double check. All right, it is printing as it should. I am a happy camper. Well, I was just watching, you want to be in a TF YouTuber circle so bad, but you're still struggling with your video schedule. Yeah, I was watching a YouTube video from YouTube itself, and one of the questions was, how often should I be posting YouTube videos? And in the end, they boil it down to I believe the quality of the video, not so much the quantity, like how many videos you can, post and whatnot. Do I believe in schedules? Not really. And I've seen some YouTubers tell you that scheduling was something that was back then. And now that, and what YouTube is trying to tell you, because once again, YouTube feels like it's a 9-to-5 job for some, and some people actually get burnt out because of it and quit or retire or take a break. And so YouTube is reminding people that, look, just post the best, videos that you can when you can and whatnot. There's no competition because someone's probably doing that video, whether it's good, whether it's bad. It's, the fact is you're posting it. And again, if you're making it into a career, know what you're getting yourself into. Nope, you are honestly right. I don't know if it's because I'm an INTJ, an introvert and whatnot, but or ADHD. I don't know what it is, but like just before I started doing the stream, I already have 4 or 5 videos in mind. I have the footage, I have the stuff, but then I might get bored of it because in my mind, I feel like it's going to take too long, and then I'll jump to the next project that I feel, I can get done to get ready to post, but I shouldn't have that mindset. And then on top of that, I haven't done anything for my book this week. One, because of the storm, and I was focusing on that, and this week was a little stressful on account of the storm and just making sure that my family and my parents and all that stuff were okay. And so I wasn't really focusing on my project as I should. And I'm kind of in I'm in a small rut, but I think I can get out of it. I just have to do it. And I have a little reminder on my phone. Let me see. Is it finished charging? Let's see. Which one did I do? Yeah. Here it is. So, as you can see here, this I pretty much made a little reminder of everything from, stuff that if I have to turn in a short or a video, make sure, work on that, writing homework. So pretty much I have little reminders that I get from my phone to say, hey, it's time to write. Hey, it's time to do this. It's time, So if you want to do a schedule like that as a start and see if that will help you, you can try that, Starmus. Because even if it's just 10 minutes, it's better than nothing. And that's what I tell people, because I'm a kind of person that likes to think big, and I will end up having to, because, I think big. That's one of my problems. And if I think too big, then I end up, and I'm not achieving that, then I take a break from it and move on to something else that will give me that small win. If you are spending time on your phone playing games, yes, it is a habit that you need to control, which is never easy because the different gaming apps that I have, I am stuck on Towers right now. That game I've had for about a good 3 years right now. Very addicting. Duolingo is another, because I really want to learn how to speak Japanese, and that is an achievement in itself. But and then Monster Hunter and Pokemon. But I only do Pokemon if there's Community Day, because I don't do the raids as often because I have those Pokemon. I have most of the shinies of their variants, and that's it. It's Community Day or raids on a legend that I don't have, or a shiny legend that I don't have. That's the only time I will go after that. But yes. But when I am not in the mood to be on the computer, I take short notes on my story. So if there's like a scene that pops up in my head, I open up my notes and I quickly jot it down on my phone. And what's nice is when I'm ready to type, I could just go online on the desktop, copy and paste what I wrote on the notes because it's connected, and go from there. So that way I feel that I've, once again, that's another example of small steps. And it's the same thing for finances. I know a lot of people, there are a lot of financial advisors on YouTube. Some are good, some are not. And it's everybody's preference, because some people teach you self-control and how to limit yourself. There was this one YouTuber, I wish I got his name, because I was just browsing a video, or if not, it was something that my brother sent me, where the guy teaches you about controlling your spending. Because for me, the minute I get my thing from the army, I'm in my mind, I'm already thinking, okay, what do I want? But that's the question. When you see what you want, you have to ask yourself, do you need it now? Do you want it now? Or is it because you see everybody else have it, like the whole trend and all that stuff, that you have to have it? Because sometimes when you end up doing that, you kind of feel guilty that you bought it and you wish that you could have waited. And because I believe there's a timing for everything. So if you get that urge that, you know what, I can wait, listen to that instinct, because you never know when you might need that money for something else that's more important than that. So that's probably the reason why I don't game as much as I used to, because which I do want to get back to. I was even thinking about doing something tonight on my gaming channel, because I did lose a few subscribers, but I'm trying to think about what game. I know there is a game that's coming out because my brother sent it to me. It's called Lunar Silver Star Story. That was a classic back in my high school years. Because we had it. That was back when I think it was for the PS1, and I played that game. It was the most amazing game ever, and the fact that they are bringing it back again, I am thrilled. Not so much the voice acting, because they changed the voice actor, which I'm very upset about, but I'm still gonna get it because they changed the graphics a little bit. So so I'm all for it. And it's like classic RPG. It's not the new one where you can move around. It's actually like it was like Final Fantasy way back in the Nintendo, Super Nintendo era. So it's going to be a lot of that. And I don't know if I could still use that tactic, because back in the day with the Super Nintendo, if you are, going after bad guys and all that stuff, sometimes I would get, and, you're just constantly grinding. I would get like a heavy book, press it on the button that accepts everything, because I know I don't need to use magic because I'm that powerful. And I would just rest it on that button and it would just automatically go all out. So unless they've actually had that feature where I can actually, where it would automatically, battle for me, I will be even happier. But I know it's going to be one struggle of a game, because it's going to be long, because I think that game was 4 discs, if I'm not mistaken. Either 3 discs, because I think the 4th one was the CD. So it was a 3-disc game. And, it's amazing how video games have evolved over the years, because Final Fantasy 7 and 8, I think, were 4 discs. And, end of disc 1, you take it out, you put it back in. Now you don't have to worry about that, because, you just wait for the update and upload for the next one. So, no, I thought that was pretty cool. Which I know I need to start Final Fantasy 7, because now that Matt Mercer is going to be playing Vincent, I have to catch up. But no. But personally, Final Fantasy VIII was my favorite, and I hope they redo that in that style, which they may not, but it would take a lot of us, the fans that loved that game, for them to do that. Because I didn't see anything wrong with that game. I know people were all about Cloud, and don't get me wrong, Cloud is cool, but Squall, I guess I always had a thing for the silent type characters. The brooding silent type. You know what? Cloud was brooding and silent. But I guess not brooding enough. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, the sun is coming out. Yes, I saw YOLO Park come out with those, and they look fantastic. No, in fact, like I think when I was at the TF Con, I purchased one of the models for, but it was the Bumblebee Optimus Prime, because when that movie came out, not only did I love the intro, that was probably the only thing I remember about that movie, and so I ended up buying the model. I still have yet to do a video on that. You know what? I probably should. Okay, okay. But again, it is all about timing because that is a very delicate model, but I think it's possible. And I mean, there's plenty of stuff that I have to go back to. I did a Lego series where I purchased like 6 Lego pieces, and the last one I did was with Thanos, the Gauntlet, and I want to continue that because I made myself disintegrate, kind of like in the movie, and I want to continue that, and I want to do some kind of battle because I have the Iron Man Gauntlet, but I want to do some kind of stop motion thing. But you know, just like you, I was afraid of scheduling and timing that I wasn't going to be able to, you know, do the animation the way I wanted to on time. But I have to get out of that mindset and just, you know, do it. And ironically, I find it hilarious because that's what I would always tell my sister. Because my sister is trying to be a Instagram influencer when it comes to theme parks. And I was telling her, and you know, she would get frustrated because it's like I'm not turning in my videos on time. I finished it, but you know, and or she doesn't know what to record. And I always tell her, you know, don't think, just do. And I know easier said than done for some people, but again, I believe it's possible. It's just how you strategize it, because how I see things like like in movie. I see it in a movie lens. So how I capture it is what I visioned, and I will, you know, try and vision it accordingly. And 9 times out of 10, it comes out just like how I wanted it, because that's what I saw in the picture box in my head. So, it takes practice. I mean, don't believe me. There are a lot more people out there that are way talented than I am. When it comes to that stuff. And I'm not trying to be them. I'm trying to be, I'm just trying to hone my skills in that world. Whether I'll be as good as them, you never know. Or an amateur version of it, sure, why not? Oh no. Some of them spilled off screen, but I will pick those guys up. Let's see here. See, I love how this is coming out. It's truly looking fabulous. And the joy of it is like, you know, it's not about rushing when it comes to this thing. You just take your time with it. Ooh. Okay. I've never seen a tour room before. So, like, your room is solely Transformers, kind of like how I've seen, like, Transformer caves, as I call it. I've seen Ninja Turtle caves, which is, like, incredible because I think some of the stuff they actually got from the movie set, which, you know, props to them for that. But that has been a lifetime dream of mine to have my own Transformers room with just nothing but my collection, a giant TV to watch or play, you know, any Transformer games, movies, shows. Ooh, that is beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to see it. See, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know where to begin because my spare bedroom is, I'm not gonna lie, is my cat's room. I set it up like that ever since she was a kitten. She doesn't go in there as often as she used to, and who knows? I might turn it into a small Transformer cave of my choosing. Because I still have a lot of my figures in my garage still in boxes. Because I didn't want to decorate my well, because there's still work that needs to be done in my lanai, so that's why I haven't really decorated it how I want to decorate it. Yes. Yes, that's true. And that's why I didn't want to, you know, throw all my stuff in there. If I can turn it into her own cat cave where she can, you know, have stuff to like roost on and, you know, play in again, then I definitely will do that. Because majority of her toys are out in the living room with me and or in my office. Yes, yes. They've taken over as such. Ooh, what have you done with your posters? Were you able to hang them since? Ooh, okay. Do you have any of the metal posters like from Displate? Cuz I was thinking about getting more, but it's still up in the air, and if I can get custom ones, then I would jump on that. Because there's a lot of artwork that I would like to have that is of my own into metal posters. Oh, that's cool. All right. What are your views on it so far? Because, like I said, I only have the one Autobot one, and I mean, I love it. Oh, Hobby Lobby. I didn't know Hobby Lobby does that. If I knew about that, I probably, because I mean, well, let me see. The nearest Hobby Lobby I have is about maybe about 45 minutes, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes from where I live. I should check to see if they have any. See, I didn't even know Hobby Lobby sells Transformer stuff. Ah. Cause yeah, the closest thing I have is a Michaels, and the Michaels we have is all right. But I always ended up having to go to Hobby Lobbies when I was doing my badges, because they had a lot more variety than Michaels did. See, we don't have a Joanne Fabrics anymore. I think they either went out of business or the storm caught up with, not this storm, but the last storm, Ian, caught up with it. But yeah, I barely went to Joanne Fabrics because I always thought it was mostly just what it was, fabric. And I was looking for bejeweled stuff when I was blinging hospital badges. I kind of miss it, but I don't. Because the problem was you needed a lot of the glue that I was using. You needed a lot of ventilation, and even though I had the fan on and it was circulating, I should have paid attention to keeping the windows opened. But it got messy. Okay, so I missed. Oh, there we go. Okay. I know I saw it around here somewhere. Okay, if it pops up again, I will catch it, because I could have sworn I missed. Could have sworn I missed a U-turn, as I call it, but I could be wrong. Okay. Oh, there it is. I need a tall plant or something because the corner of this room be dry. A tall plant is not bad. That's not a bad idea. Or if you could find one of those tall portraits. But do you have a window for? Well, I know sometimes indoor plants don't really need sun, and they just use the light from light bulbs. But what kind of plant can you use? Well, it would have to be a fake one, because don't you worry about your cats getting into the plants? Okay, okay. Yeah, when I first started, taking care of Vanilla Bean, I didn't realize so many things that, dogs and cats can't have inside the house, especially cats. Like certain plants are poisonous. I also had to give up my diffuser. I loved because I loved having a diffuser, and there are certain scents that I didn't know that are deadly to cats. See, I knew I saw the U-turn thingy somewhere. Okay. I just need one. Okay, there we go. There. Okay, so number 3. Okay. I need 20 and 18. You don't realize how much junk you have until you make a video about your entire collection. Now, I wouldn't call it junk per se. I just, you're a aficionado. You're a Transformers aficionado. Or a robot aficionado? Or an automaton aficionado? I wonder what you would call it. Oh, nice. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, I wouldn't say that. See, I always thought I think Omega is the lowest. I always, and Simp is the second to the lowest. Yes, it is always in good fun. No, you're right. You can't be sensitive to everything. So long as it is, wholesome in a way that isn't too insulting. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I know there are some people that go a little too far. All right. I missed one. No. Of course. No, I get it. I get it. Oh, I missed a K. Uh, 15. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it all boils down to preference and, a person's definition. Like, what can I compare? No, like, I'm a diehard G1 fan. And I know there wouldn't be anyone that could convince me otherwise. Or same thing with 2D animation. Hands down, I would always prefer 2D animation than, 3D. I respect it because it brought us Beast Wars. It brought us Transformers Prime. It brought us a lot of great Pixar movies. However, when it comes to 2D animation, I see more life in that than I do with 3D. And don't get me wrong, 3D has, improved over the years, especially like with Love, Death, and Robots, because there were times that I honestly thought that it was actors, but it was actually, CG. So, in some cases, I do respect, 3D animation, but my heart will always go out to 2D because I grew up in that era. And yep, my battery died on my my little Surface thing, which is fine because we are almost finished with this section, and I'll do I will do a little pan of the whole thing. But no, I am excited that we are halfway finished with this thing. Oh, I need to put more wax. There we go. Now, I have a question. Oop. Okay, I love 2D, but 3D has a special place in my heart because, like you with 2D, 3D is what I grew up with for a long time, and I want to be a 3D animator. Oh, okay, okay. See, I love that. I love the fact that, you have a different perspective on 3D animation because, just like you said, that's what you grew up on. And, that's the thing about, it goes back to Transformers. To some, Beast Wars was their G1, and Transformers Prime for others is their G1. So it's beautiful how we all have our, different preferences, and, the things that we grow up on are the things that we are very, passionate on, that we would die on the hill for, and, still leaving room for, new things to be introduced, because it kind of makes me wonder what the generation after us, what their preferences will be. Will AI be their preference? If AI was given the freedom to create their own shows, which I don't know if they already have already that I know of. I mean, who knows? Maybe, Cocomelon is AI. Who knows? Well, no, I'm sure it probably isn't, but, it very well could be the way that it's going. Because the fact that it, figured out what gets a kid's attention, that is, I find that quite amazing. too much. I didn't really need all of that. Okay. See, this is beautiful. With 5 minutes to spare, we are down to 6 more spots. And we will officially be done with this half, which is pretty much, as I'm pointing, yeah, we'll be done with this half of this stitch art. Let's see, I only need 6, 2, 5. There we go. All right, I am going to carefully, without, because the camera that I'm using for this overhead is a little short, so I'm going to try my best not to pull the plug, but let me see what I could do. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use this camera, and I'm going to show you the overall length. So, so as you can see, we have actually, you know what? Let me see if I could flip it around. Hang tight. I'm going to enlarge this sucker. So, as you can see, it looks fantastic. It looks marvelous. I love where it's going. So this side, mission accomplished. All that's left is this other side here over his head. And then I'm going to finish, save Stitch for last, because again, Stitch is my favorite little guy. But yeah, we've accomplished it. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream right here. I'll be back again. We could continue on with this. We can, I might probably try and do something different. I don't know. It depends on the mood I'm in. That's the joy of this thing. I don't have a set schedule, set time. No. Well, it'll always be Saturday. Give or take, it'll always be Saturdays. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, this is fun, and I'm glad that much has been accomplished on this end, and I look forward to, where did this little guy come from? Oh no, this was a wild piece that was flying around. I'll have to, let me put it back so it doesn't get lost. But yeah, so thank you, Star Miss. Yes, sparkling, yes indeed. But no, always glad to have you on board, Star Miss. If ever you want to do that stream on your channel and whatnot, where some Q&A or just, you know, some random talking and whatnot, let me know. I'll be more than glad to join and, you know, shoot the breeze with you and whatnot. But no, always a blast to see you, Star Miss. Thank you so much for joining. And anyone who was tuning in, thank you guys so much for stopping by, viewing the channels, viewing my replays. And I posted a video recently where I discovered something new that was happening with my 3D printer. where I don't know if anyone's come across this, but whoever has the Ender V3SE, the CR touch, every now and then it sticks. And I didn't think about it, but YouTuber Khaki DIY, do it yourself, he came up with something brilliant. WD-40. I didn't think it would work, but it actually did. So I don't seem to be having that problem anymore. So you could check it out. And again, credit to him because, I never would have thought of that. And, he just made life simpler for me and for others, doing this print. So thank you guys so much for watching. Yep, I will see you later, Star Miss, and I'll check you guys later.